As the uncertainty about the future of the City of Johannesburg Mayor Dr. Mpho Phalatse continues, many political parties in the council are caught in between this as allegations of corruption and bribery have emerged in the council. 7 political parties who are in a coalition government in the city opened a case of bribery against some ANC councillors. They were allegedly offered a bribe of 150,000 rand to buy votes that would see Council Speaker Vasco da Gama axe through a vote of no confidence. Now, a vote of no confidence against Mayor Dr. Phalatse is set to take place soon. But for more on this, I'm joined in studio by ANC Johannesburg Regional Chairperson Dada Morero. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us in studio. Thank you for coming in. The allegations about bribery again leveled against ANC councillors, this is very serious indeed. What's your response?
Well, it's very serious. We have asked them to tell us who are those so that the ANC can act immediately against those individuals. But what is surprising today, it says 150. Last week it was 2 million. So it also changes the amounts that were offered to these councillors. And in fact, one of the councillors in his affidavit refers to councillors of other political parties. No one refers in an affidavit to councillors of the ANC. In fact, none of the councillors of the ANC had a mandate to even have discussions with the councillors of other parties, except myself as the leader of caucus and the regional secretary, Comrade Sasabauna Mangani. So we're the only 2 individuals tasked with engaging with other parties. So we were shocked to hear that ANC councillors would have done that. And in fact, we also think it's the DA undermining the integrity of other parties and other councillors, because how would you want to sacrifice your 4-year job for 150 when in the next 5 years I think council is left with 4.5 jobs.
Well, let me come in there.
Probably guaranteed of over 2 million, 3 million in your salary, and you decide to take 150. That will be very irresponsible.
But the allegation that the DA-led council is basically saying or making is that the ANC is trying to regain power through the back door. What's your response to that?
Which back door? Because they came through the same back door.
The back door of bribery.
The back door, it means coalition. I think that's what we understood them to mean. We have not bribed anyone, and we'll stand by our word, and we are saying, tell us who bribed who, so the ANC can act, and that person must be arrested, must be charged, because it's criminal to begin to bribe people because you wanted them to vote for you. In fact, the councillors that voted because they've got a strong belief and a conviction that Da Gama is not fit for the job. And by the way, the very same Action SA has written at least 3 letters in which they were complaining about the conduct of Vasco da Gama themselves.
What about
including the MMC of the DA councillor soon complained about the conduct. So that thing's there, it's written.
What about Dr. Phalatse? Of course, we're hearing that there's going to be a motion of no confidence put against her. When are we likely to see that? And what's the reasoning behind it?
The motion should have put at least on the same day as the motion of the speaker. Unfortunately, the motion did not comply in accordance to what programming committee would have said, that something that did not comply with the law. As a result of that, there's a matter that needed to be cleared first for it to comply. Now that the matter around the case opened by Mashaba has now been clarified that that's the case against Mashaba. Mashaba opened, but it's a dormant case, but it's not a matter that affects Phalatse. So in essence, the motion should then comply.
Yes.
So
and what's the driver behind the motion?
Look, there's quite a number of issues that were raised, and when the African Independent Congress confronted us as the ANC and presented the issues, one is the failure of her to have declared in council that there's a criminal case against her, which was opened around 2018, 2019, around Phil Bent, an organization that they irregularly donated 11 million to. which is basically a brass band type of an organization, and then it was given a mandate to deal with drug abuse and substance abuse, which does not, so that's one part that we have raised. The second part, they are raising the fact that she has not reported to council on a quarterly basis, as it's required by law, that she must come to council and report to council, and she has not done that since she has been elected. Second, thirdly, they are also raising issues around finances. As you'd know, that the city is currently 3 billion under and unable to support its budget as a result of the inability of the city to raise revenue. In fact, their collection has dropped from where it should have been to under 90%. Once you are under 90%, you are basically going to be faced with serious financial challenges.
So in effect, do you think she hasn't done a great job during her tenure thus far?
Well, residents of Johannesburg, residents of Soweto will tell you that she has not done a good job. Everything in Soweto has collapsed. There's no robot that works in Soweto. If their work is 1 or 2 or 3, potholes are increasing in Soweto. No interest to address townships, but everything else in the suburbs seems to be going very well. Everything in the townships is not going well. So it also tells you in terms of their ideological orientation suggests that let's first deal with our own constituencies and the rest shall follow, which is one thing that we are also raising. Secondly, there's a lot of irregularity that the D administration has been putting in place. For example, they've got an MMC responsible for corporate services who herself is known to be Councillor Potgieter in terms of IEC records. However, everything she has done and signed off is signed off on Councillor note, something that we don't know. Now we are asking our question, who is this one? Because the councillor in terms of the correct records of the IEC is Councillor Potgieter. So there's quite a number of things before they even throw issues of bribery. They need to address such issues of Councillor Potgieter, which in essence it's serious fraud. That we have signed documents of the city as Councillor not, when in actual fact your name is Potgieter.
All right, Dada, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. That was Dada Morero. He is the Johannesburg Regional Chairperson, and it's also his birthday. Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
All right.